What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel, man. And today I want to talk about a topic I normally don't really talk about on this YouTube channel, and I'm gonna just say, don't go broke for YouTube, man. Like, I'm starting to see this trend where I'm seeing a lot of car YouTubers, I'm seeing a lot of channels that I follow, man, and they seem to be either overextending themselves or they having bad financial management skills or whatever, man. And I'm just saying, talk to my future self and talking to people that's around my age bracket, because when I check the statistics on my channel, a lot of people is between the ages of 18 to 25 and 30 and 35, man. And I just want to talk to you guys about, like, do not go broke for YouTube or for these car YouTubers, or just having that perception of what you see on the internet is valid by some people, man, because some people are just living in a bubble and they don't take things seriously, man. And I say, like, when you see these people on YouTube, look at the actions on the channel, I would say. And that's just me. Not just look at me, look at my channel, observe what I do, look at how I move, look at other channels, see how they move and so forth, man, because I'm tired of seeing this trend where there's a lot of people building these cars, and then next thing you know, they're talking about, oh, I'm selling it. Or you see it, and that it don't have to be Camaro specific or whatever. It's just any car, man. Or you see someone like, oh, I'm taking delivery of X, Y, and Z just for YouTube and just for, you know, get that clickbait, and then you see the video and they be like, oh yeah, man, I got this 2 hottest cars on the market, but I mean, you're not doing nothing with them. You're not driving them. You're just doing the quick reviews just to get the clout, get the views up, but you're not doing nothing. With me, I feel like when you get a car not meant to sit in the garage. The car is meant to be driven. A car is a form of transportation from point A to point B, but also cars is also to have fun with. And I feel like car YouTubers do that, and they feel like they go down the same realm of mods, copying other YouTubers, man. I feel like there's no creativity there. The creativity in the car scene, I feel like, is lost. You know, and I grew up in an era where, you know, cars was, I mean, I came from the Motor City, so my perception on cars hit different than someone that's not in the Motor City, that's heavy-centric on cars. And yes, I'm biased to domestic vehicles, but I also like other vehicles as well. For example, like the Lotus, I like the McLarens, I like the Honda Civic Type Rs, I like the Golf Rs as well. I just didn't get to that realm yet because I don't see the value of where it fits into my life right now. But it's just how people just get into these vehicles, man, just to, I say, clout chase for the internet, just to get those clicks is not worth it, and just going into debt. Especially when you be hearing these people talk about, oh, when they make these videos, how much do I pay a month on my car payment? And the average, you don't have to take my word for it, but the average car note in America new is $730. That's a lot of money coming out every month, and people be signing off on these loans for 5 to 7 years. Like, for example, not to brag, not to talk about me, but me, for example, I put my Camaro SS that I currently have for 72 months. But as I'm making this video and talk to you guys, like, when January gets here, my car will be paid off. Not too many YouTubers will tell you about that, and that's something that I don't share on the back end, but I just dropped that for you guys as an aware. Like, there's more money coming out on that car, and there's more things that I did to this car that I can afford pretty much a ZL1. People come out and say, oh man, you can't afford a ZL1. But there's also the same people that have a ZL1, they overextend themselves, and then, you know, 2 months down the road, they're selling their car. Because why? They telling you, oh, I'm selling it for another car, it wasn't fast enough. But really, just be honest, you can't afford it, or you didn't do your math right, because these cars is expensive. Anybody who own a Camaro SS Elite or any American car, like, these cars is not cheap at all. And I mean, to go on YouTube, you know, just to, you know, flex like you got it, that's one thing. If you got the bag, as I say, if you got the bag, go ahead and, you know, flaunt the bag if you got it and it's not hurting your lifestyle. But a lot of these car YouTubers, man, they are like going crazy on these car modifications and on these cars, trying to stunt for the Joneses or keep up with the Joneses. And it's more to life than that. Because, like, honestly, when I built my car, I knew what I was getting into. This is not my first rodeo. I learned working on cars a long time ago. Like, cars that wasn't even performance vehicles, you know, like my daily that I still have now, like my Impala. I learned how to put brakes and rotors on that car, oil changes on that car, then just applied the knowledge to other vehicles and so forth. I even changed the gaskets and everything, took the motor and did motor work on that like a while ago before I came out here. But when it comes to like modifications, like people don't just think about that. They look at you like, oh yeah, man, he got money, he got that. But people don't be really taking account of any other things. Like they think, oh man, he's a YouTuber, he got this many followers, he got this much money coming in. And a lot of it, like this YouTube thing, to be honest with you guys, is just for fun. I just enjoy it. And then honestly, if it wasn't for my girl, I wouldn't be doing this YouTube thing. I've been just doing this as a normal day of life, and you guys wouldn't even know who I was. But I appreciate you guys for following the channel and following my build process and the journey, because that means a lot. I'm documenting stuff, and you can't say like, oh man, he ain't doing it. I'm actually living what I'm doing. Dang, that was pretty dope. That was a jet that went by. But that's why I feel like these YouTubers are going broke, because they don't like really manage to take things into consideration. Like one of the things I say is like the maintenance costs. Getting the car is easy. Maintaining it is the hard part, because you got to have the money for all the consumables that you using the car for, which is the tires, the rotors, the brakes, the oil changes. And not too many people are really like mechanically inclined. Me, I am pretty much mechanically inclined to some degree, where I can put on the intake manifold, throttle body, cold air intake. I don't need to go to a performance shop for like little stuff like that. That's easy, where they just raping you on the cost. But as far as like changing the tires, checking pressure, changing the brakes, rotors, pads, I can do all that stuff myself. Rotors, changing the fluids and stuff. But a lot of people don't, and they just get into these cars first and thinking, oh yeah, hey, I can do this. But then when they get the maintenance costs, they're complaining on the back end. Or they're going to tell you like, oh, the dealership rated me on this, and then the next thing you know, they're selling it, which is crazy, man. And that's why I'm making this video, because I'm sick and tired of people like going broke or showing off of YouTube, or going down this phase of like modifying these cars, and then next thing you know, they're selling it, man. Because for me, as much money as I put into my Camaro, I will never sell that vehicle, because I know I'm not going to get the actual value that I want out of it. You know, there's a difference between perceived value and actual value. And my perceived value will never meet the actual value unless there's a specific buyer that understands what I have done to the car and how I use the car. And don't be, and just look at the channels. That's what I just want to say. Just look at the channels, look how they be moving, and see, does it make financial sense, man? Because a lot of stuff, I don't like to pocket watch people and see what they're doing, but in the times that we're living in, it's like not everybody on YouTube is getting the bag like that. The numbers does not show that, and you got to have a good career to maintain and fund these cars and this particular lifestyle. So this is the video I just want to make to my future self, talking to other people that's on my channel that's from between the ages of 18 and 25, and then from 25 all the way up to 34, because there's a different ages group. And I just want to share that with people, like, hey, wherever you at in life, where you sit at right now, you're doing good, you're doing great. Stay on your grind, stay doing what you have to do. These cars always going to be here. These ladies always going to be here. These mods always going to be here. And as you get older, as you get into different stuff, you probably not even going to care about the cars no more. Like right now, I got a car, I got this Camaro, but at the end of the day, this Camaro is just one of my dream cars that I wanted to get. Why? Because I grew up in the Camaro, T-tops, IROC Z. I mean, that 87 Camaro lived within me, because that was the car I always wanted. But my parents sold it when I got my license, because they know I wanted that bad enough that I would have took the keys and enjoyed it. But as of now, I worked hard, made sure I got the Camaro that I wanted. I built it the way I wanted, the sound just how I wanted, because that's what I envisioned. But I'm just making this video as a motivation video, as I normally don't do a lot of these, but today I felt like doing it, And I just want to share with you guys that, hey, don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to live above your means. Live below your means. And also, don't buy a car and go into modding it for somebody else's pleasure. And make sure when you mod the cars, it's for you. And then when you mod the cars, make sure that when you mod them, you don't have the intention of selling the car. Yes, we go through life changes and stuff comes up where you may have to change your car. Like for me, my red one, I started getting my firstborn son, Asher. Like once he got into the world, that car I modded, and I showed y'all the video. I modded full bolt on E85, but luckily the dealership know who I was. They watched the content. They took all the mods off for me. Like I took the exhaust, headers. Not the headers, the intake manifold and stuff off. But they took the headers off for me because I kept the stock parts, and I got better value out of that vehicle when I sold it to get a bigger vehicle for my wife, so she got her dream car. And the best part about it is I drove that car for 4 years for free, if you think about it. And that car had the best interest rate. It was zero. Like I was using the company, I was using GM money as an example. So even though I enjoyed that car, modded it, I knew, and I was trying to make that to be a 1LE. So now that I got me an SS 1LE, I'm sitting back and I'm golden. And the fact that when January gets here, that I paid that car off in 3 years, which is another topic I can discuss, like that is phenomenal. And I'm just happy about that, because a lot of people overextend themselves and get these 72, 84 month car loans, and that's just crazy. Like, because there's so much other stuff that's going on, so many ways that you can get money and invest, that I wouldn't put it all into a car. And that's why I'm making this video, that I say now, like, everybody want a Hellcat, everybody wants a ZL1, everybody wants the top dog of every brand, but it's not really worth it. And then like people jump on me all the time, like, oh man, you could have got a ZL1. Yes, I could have got a ZL1, but I also wouldn't did no modifications to it. And also keep the channel at a state where you ought to keep coming back and watching it. Because you'll see a lot of people, they buy these cars, but they're not doing nothing with the cars. Or they may stand outside and give you like the average video. It's like, okay, how much the car payment, what's the insurance, oh, I'm taking it to a Cars and Coffee, or this what it's like to stuff it at the grocery store and all that stuff. But outside of that, it's like, it's kind of like watered down. And that's why I'm making this video, because that's when I'm into modification. But I knew when I got into the car going in, I knew I wanted to mod the car. And not because I wanted to mod it. I modded the car because I wanted to get the longevity out of the vehicle, bulletproof it. Because as you guys know, as I've been preaching, GM is known for having lifter issues. And those are some of the things that go out, especially how hard I'm driving the car in the mountains and at the track. So that's going to wrap this video up. I'm probably going to like cover this topic at another time, but this is just something I just had to get off my chest and just share with you guys. Like, don't go broke for YouTube. Don't go broke for your friends. Don't go broke for anybody, because at the end of the day, in a couple years or so, it's not even going to matter to them, because it's your lifestyle, live it how you want it. So like that, man, that's going to wrap this video up. If you like this video, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.